what's up, family? This is Marseille, aka the Property Pastor, here with Kingdom Legacy Builders, where our mission is to help everyday people like you and me to build a lasting legacy for our children and our children's children. And we're teaching wealth building principles. We're teaching real estate investing principles so that you can build a business, so that you can, escape the rat race, so that you can go forward and actually acquire assets, create generational wealth, and so that your children and your children's children, they can be blessed. So we're going to be talking today about some of the frustrations that a lot of people are having right now during COVID-19 and trying to invest in real estate. And a lot of folks who are like, hey, I want to buy my first property. There's nothing out there. The prices are way too high. What's going on? I don't know what to do. So I wanted to kind of give you guys some tips that have actually helped me and that I believe are going to help you so that you can, weather this storm, so that you can find deals, so that you can get started as an investor this year during the pandemic, during this kind of this bubble and all these things that are going on in the real estate space. But before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have different questions, you have comments, make sure you drop them in the comment section, because I do answer all the questions, I do answer all the comments. But make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you like the video, and then share it with somebody that you know that could benefit from the principles that we're talking about. So let's go ahead and jump into it. COVID has presented some significant challenges for the folks who want to get started investing in real estate. Right now, there's very little inventory. There's very little inventory out there. Houses are going so quick. I mean, the day that they list, the house is already sold. And if you may be looking at a property like, hey, I want to invest in a house. It really meets my criteria. And then maybe you've reached out to your real estate agent, and you try to set up a showing. Before you can even get out there, you get that text or that email saying, hey, I'm sorry, property's already gone. These things can be very discouraging to an investor, or you may see that the prices are just astronomical. I was kind of just tripping out the other day. I got, everybody's got Zillow on their phone. They've got all the different apps that show you new listings. And a listing came across for a triplex in my market, and the triplex wasn't even finished. It needed work. It was totally vacant. And the price of it, based on what I would have paid, was almost double. It was almost double. And what they were charging prices that were well above retail prices for a property that still needed probably $50,000 worth of work, and that nobody was living there. And the crazy part is somebody's going to buy that house. So right now, because of the market, because of the fact that it's so saturated, because of the fact that so many people are buying and prices are going way up, it can be frustrating, right? This can be discouraging. It can be frustrating. And personally, right, in my business, I have not bought a property from the MLS, the multiple listing service, since 2019. And I want to actually show you what's helped me in my business. But again, I haven't bought a property off of MLS since 2019. And on top of it, this year in 2021, I'm on my 4th property, right? So my portfolio, I've got 11. Right now, I'm going to lock up number 12 under contract. So in 2021, in the midst of the global pandemic, God has blessed me to be able to get 4 new properties, right? So I'm believing that I'm probably going to get about 3 or 4 more before it's all over. And I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that are helping me to do that in my business. So what should you do about it, right? There's no inventory. Prices are way up. You're getting frustrated. What should you do? Here's what I recommend. First of all, I recommend that you go off market. Now, what does that mean? It means that you start to look at properties that are not being listed on the MLS. Now, there's a couple ways you can do that. The first way is you can take matters into your own hand, right? You can start to send out letters. You can start to send out what we call direct mail. You can buy lists off of companies like ListSource. You can go and do what we call driving for dollars. You just hop in your car with a full tank of gas. You start writing down addresses. You start taking pictures, and then you reach out to those sellers. On top of it, there's apps out there and services like Deal Machine, which I use all the time in my business. I just roll up to a house, type in the address, take a picture, and then Deal Machine sends postcards on my behalf. One of my quadplexes that I purchased and just refinanced, that's how I found that deal. So this is a way, right? You can take matters into your own hand, start your own marketing campaign. You can actually do cold calling. You can do door knocking, all sorts of ways that you can do off-market deals. One of the other things, though, if you don't have the time, the energy, or the patience for that, is you can make contact with wholesalers. Now, what is a wholesaler? A wholesaler is somebody who goes and basically does all that work for you. It brings you a deal. So there is no real estate agent involved. The wholesaler is acting as the middleman between you and the seller. So the wholesaler will bring you a deal. They're going to lock it up for a low price, and then they're going to mark it up, sell it to you, and then that difference is what they keep, and then you get the property to put into your portfolio. So I buy properties from my wholesalers all the time. This year, pretty much, I think 3 properties have come through wholesalers. The other property just came through relationships with somebody that I knew. So I think those are critical. You really want to go off market and start taking advantage of that space, because in that space you can find better deals. You got more flexibility, right? And it's not as frustrating. Now, if you are going to work with a wholesaler, what's going to happen is that you have to be qualified as what they call a cash buyer. Now, there's 2 ways to be a cash buyer. The first way is to actually have the cash, right? So if a property is being listed for, $100,000, that means that you got $100,000 and you can actually pay $100,000 for that property. Most people don't have $100,000 just sitting around. So a lot of people that are considered quote unquote cash buyers are not really cash buyers. Now, you could have a partner, right? You could be a private money partner, somebody who's helping you in that process, kind of a silent partner funding you money. Or you can be another kind of cash buyer, which means that you are working with a hard money lender. Now, a hard money lender is basically somebody who's going to charge you, anywhere from 10 to 14% interest rate. And then on top of it, though, they're going to front you the money to buy that property, and they can close very fast. So anybody who's bought a house for yourself, or you bought your first investment property in your name, you knew that process could take 30, 45, even 60 days. To actually get the bank, the underwriting, and all that kind of stuff. But with a hard money lender, they're going to qualify you very quickly, but they're going to pay you for it. But they can close very fast. So that's one of the good parts about a hard money lender. But on top of it, that hard money lender oftentimes wants to see some level of experience. They're going to review your deal. They want to make sure that whatever deal you have is solid, that is strong, before they actually lend you that money. So hard money is a great kind of workaround. It is expensive, though. I use hard money from time to time, but it is expensive. I personally prefer private money, and that's a whole nother source that you can use as well. So you can have the cash, you can have private money, or you can have a hard money lender kind of backing you. But those are ways where you can close very quickly. And because of the fact that you are closing fast, you can close in 30 days or whatever, or oftentimes 2 to 3 weeks is probably more like it. The seller is willing to actually sell that price at a much lower rate. So in the off-market space, you find motivated sellers. You find people who are definitely willing to sell properties at a discount, and you don't have the same level of competition that you have on the MLS. So I think those are great ways to actually find deals, and that's something that's helped me tremendously, helped me to scale my business. I can be a whole lot more creative in terms of the deals that I set up and structure, and really there's no limit in that space. So the other thing that you can do, if you're totally frustrated, is just be patient, right? I mean, just be patient. And what I mean by that is, maybe 2021 is not the year for you to buy your first deal, but it should be the year of you preparing. It should be the year of you saving up money, right? You can just save up down payment. You can save up excess cash, right? Grind and go and save up money so that way, when the opportunity presents itself, you are prepared. I think it was Bruce Lee. He said, be like water and find a way, right? So I think in finding a way, you can either just, start working around and finding opportunities in the off-market space, or you can say, what, I am determined that I am going to be a real estate investor in the long run. Now, it might not be 2021, but if I'm not going to buy my first deal in 2021, I'm going to learn everything that I possibly can. I'm going to watch every video. I'm going to listen to every podcast. I'm going to read every book. I'm going to find mentors. All of those kind of things I'm going to do so that when the opportunity presents itself, then I am ready. More opportunities come about when you're ready for them versus just, stumbling across your path. A lot of people are like, man, you're lucky. God has just blessed you, and God has tremendously blessed me, but He's also blessed me to prepare, right? And in preparing, right, I'm ready for the next opportunity when it comes. So that's another thing that you can do, is get ready. The wonderful part about this is that the average person is looking at the market, they're looking at this frustration. It's going to make a lot of people quit. Now, the more people quit, I look at it as less competition on the table. So the thing that you must recognize or focus on is, hey, am I going to be an investor? Am I going to do this no matter what? So I think in doing that, right, if you apply those principles, you'll be successful. You can find that deal. You can get ready for that deal. Maybe it's not going to be until 2022, but it's going to come. And the thing I always tell myself is that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. right? So recognize that you will be successful. Apply the principles, work the plan. Plan your work and work your plan, and you will be successful. So that's what I have for you guys. I appreciate you tuning into today's video. If you haven't already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button so that other people can benefit from this content. I hope this video has been beneficial to you. It's been my pleasure to hang out with you guys. It's been my pleasure to present this content to you. Like I said, I pray it's been a blessing to you, and I pray nothing but God's best on you and your family for days, months, and years to come. God bless. Can't wait to see you again next time. Take care. This has been Marseille, the Property Pastor, signing.